One killed two men. A motel guest describes what he heard just outside of his room before police found the victims.
This noon, we have an update on a crash that caused a traffic mess and left one person seriously hurt. The charges a driver now faces.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
What may have been a shootout at a motel has now left two people dead.
San Antonio police finding both of them early this morning outside a room of the motel on Fredericksburg Road near Medical Drive. Police tell us they also found a gun. But as Katrina Weber reports, police say that they're still looking for the killer.
There was no need for a wake-up call at the Budget Suites of America. Gunfire before 6 this morning got guests here in the 7800 block of Fredericksburg Road right out of bed.
My wife got up, she checked on the kids, and the kids were fine.
I was sitting on my sofa watching the national news, and I heard 5 gunshots out here.
What came next was even more disturbing for John Barry and the others. News that 2 people had been shot dead close to home.
Real close, right outside my window.
Police crowded into the parking lot and roped off the crime scene. They also went door to door looking for clues. They found both bodies on a walkway right outside one of the rooms. But police weren't sure right away whether the 2 men, both in their 20s, were guests of the motel. The initial reports that police got were that there was some sort of a shootout here. Now, that's still under investigation, but they say they did find a gun here at the scene, as well as several bullet holes in the side of the building.
Bullets could ricochet, they could hit anybody. They could probably hit my kids or something. I got little babies.
Andrew Martinez is glad, despite the danger, that his children are safe. He says he feels for the 2 men who died.
I'm hoping they're in a better place now, but I don't know why it happened.
Police hope with time they will find out what happened and who killed them. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Also this noon, police searching for suspects in unrelated robberies, and anyone who brings valuable information to Crime Stoppers could be eligible for a reward. So first, police wanting to find this person. We're told the suspect met someone in a parking lot in the 8400 block of North Loop 1604 West trying to sell a pair of Jordan sneakers back on March 29th. That's near West Houseman on the northwest side of town. Police tell us the suspect tried to take off without paying for the shoes. That's when the victim chased after him. However, he was stopped in his tracks when the suspect flashed a gun. Officers tell us the suspect threatened to shoot the victim. And in the second incident, officers say this person robbed a store in the 1200 block of Austin Highway. That's near South Van Diver Road on the northeast side. Police tell us she hit the Five Below store back on April 5th, then ran off. If you know anything that can help police track down these suspects, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number on your screen, 210-224-STOP. Crime Stoppers may pay up to $5,000 for information that leads to arrests in these crimes.
Now to the latest this noon. On a north side crash, a 27-year-old man arrested and charged with intoxication assault. Officers say that the driver was in a flatbed commercial truck hauling sheet metal on Loop 1604 near Northwest Military yesterday evening. According to witnesses, he was speeding and weaving in and out of traffic. He ended up hitting another driver, causing a chain reaction crash that involved several other drivers. Sheet metal was all over the highway. The suspect also that sheet metal caused a traffic headache last night. Police saying the driver was tested for intoxication at the scene, and that is where he was arrested. At least one person was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
A man is dead after an overnight crash on the far west side. All of this happening on the access road next to Highway 90 westbound near Loop 1604. Sarah Costa shows us the scene and what police say may have caused the crash.
A man who San Antonio police believe is in his 50s was found dead in the driver's seat of this vehicle around 7:30 this morning on the city's far west side. A passerby called 911 about the crash Tuesday morning, but police believe it happened possibly overnight because when they arrived to the scene, the engine was cold. The silver car was found crashed out in a field off of the access road of westbound Highway 90 near Pugh Road in Loop 1604. Traffic investigators are on scene and they're trying to figure out exactly how this car ended up facing the opposite direction. The sergeant on scene telling me they believe high speed is a factor. At one point, police called for their chopper to fly over the surrounding field to make sure no one else had been ejected from the vehicle. Police confirming the area was clear. At this time, police are still trying to figure out the identification of the male driver. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
As he hits the halfway point in his first term as District Attorney, Joe Gonzalez releasing a midterm report this morning citing his progress in criminal justice reform and transparency. The report establishes his civil rights division and his cite and release program as major accomplishments. As part of his administration's transparency, the report also lists the publication of dashboards showing public viewing and improving communication with crime victims.
We knew that we could do better in prosecuting crimes. We knew that we had limited resources. We knew that we had limited manpower, and we knew that we had to focus on violent crime. And so we've done that.
Gonzalez said that with COVID restrictions easing up and courtroom activity slowly returning to normal, he's anticipating a busier and more productive second half of his term.
Well, the city election is May 1st, just a couple weeks away. In the meantime, we are teaming up with the San Antonio Report and Fairfax to bring you a forum in the race for San Antonio mayor. The forum will take place over a course of 3 nights, with each night dedicated to an individual candidate. We will kick off the series tonight at 6:30 right here on KSAT 12 with incumbent Ron Nirenberg and our KSAT Q&A. That forum will then continue online from 7 p.m. to about 7:30 on KSAT.com, on our Facebook page, and on KSAT TV, the app. Now, former Councilman Greg Brockhouse will have his forum tomorrow, and Denise Gutierrez-Homer will have her forum on Thursday.
FEMA says it's getting thousands of phone calls about its new funeral assistance program. The agency says the large volume of calls is causing technical issues, though. FEMA asking callers to please be patient. Under the program, families who lost loved ones to COVID-19 can apply for assistance with funeral costs. Participants can apply for up to $9,000 in assistance per burial. You can find out more information on eligibility requirements on the FEMA website.
Now to the push to vaccinate Americans against COVID-19.
The CDC and FDA releasing a joint statement now recommending a pause in the use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine after reports of potentially dangerous blood clots in a very small number of patients.
As ABC's Ika Joki reports, the news comes as the World Health Organization says COVID cases are increasing across the globe.
Today, federal health officials calling for a pause in the use of Johnson & Johnson's single-shot COVID vaccine.
COVID-19 vaccine safety is a top priority for the federal government, and we take all reports of adverse events following vaccination very seriously.
The request comes as 6 people, all women ages 18 to 48, developed a rare condition that causes blood clots about a week after receiving their dose. Health experts say these clots are not always treated the same as other blood clots. Johnson & Johnson says there's no causal relationship between the rare blood clots and its vaccine. Public health officials want to pause administering the J&J shot so doctors can learn more about what's happening.
The time frame will depend, obviously, on what we learn in the next few days. However, we expect it to be a matter of days for this pause.
This morning, Dr. Ashish Jha telling ABC he agrees with the decision to pause the vaccine, adding he still believes the J&J shot is very safe and feels comfortable giving it to his own family.
We have a system that's working. And so I personally hope that this will build more confidence in the vaccines. That's, I think, what people should be focused on.
This as the WHO says COVID cases are climbing globally. And here at home, the daily case average is now at peak summer surge levels, about 66,000 cases per day. In Michigan, cases are rising at an alarming rate as the state's governor says its vaccine supply can't keep up, prompting this blunt response from the CDC director.
To go back to our basics, to go back to where we were last spring, last summer, and to shut things down, to flatten the curve.
So far, out of the nearly 7 million J&J shots given to Americans, public health officials say only those 6 women developed clots. Ika Joki, ABC News, Washington.
Here in San Antonio, UT Health now says it will follow the new FDA and CDC recommendations and stop administering the Johnson & Johnson vaccine until further notice. This comes after WellMed announced the same decision. WellMed said it will continue to administer the Moderna vaccine. If possible, WellMed will offer anyone who is scheduled to receive the J&J vaccine this week the option of receiving their first dose of Moderna.
Cold front means some cooler temperatures today, lots of clouds, and yes, we do have rain chances this week. We'll break down the timing of it all coming up.
And go Spurs, go 2 in a row. We're going to have the highlights from last night's big win.
As the need for blood donations continues, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says the total inventory remains critically low. How you can help meet the need in our community. That's coming up after the break. We have some breaking news on vaccines just into our newsroom. University Health says this week it will take walk-ins at both vaccine sites. Today through Friday, people 16 and older can walk right in and go to either the Wonderland of the Americas Mall or St. Philip's sites during most hours. However, you will need to bring a photo ID to get your vaccine. People age 16 and 17, however, do need to bring a guardian as well. The site at Wonderland of the Americas open from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the site at St. Philip's College, MLK Campus Center for Learning Resources is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Well, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center tells me they need at least 200 more blood donations every day to help this growing demand to treat people in our local hospitals. Now, these donations help a variety of local patients, people fighting cancer, recovering from trauma, and undergoing surgeries. I spoke with organizers and donors today about the need and how you can help out.
I just feel I'm so blessed, and if I can help other people with this, that would be great.
Madi was one of the first people to donate blood today at Central Catholic High School. She says it was to support her son and help out our community.
We encourage anyone who is willing and able and eligible to donate blood to give us a call. Make that blood donation appointment, whether it be a community blood drive or at a donor room. Find a convenient opportunity for you to be someone's hero and save a life.
The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center officials tell me even if you already got your vaccine, you are still approved to donate. And there's a big need right now.
Hospitals continue to request for more blood. Recent weeks, we've seen 20% increase over normal, and that is outpacing the blood donations.
Anyone who can should give blood, especially if you are type O.
While the total inventory remains at critically low levels, with there being a 1.5 day blood supply, specifically O positive and O negative are critically low as well, with less than a 1 day blood supply.
As for Madi, she has a message for anyone who may be hesitant.
Don't be afraid. You can help other people. You're blessed, you're healthy. Come on over and help other people.
And if you're interested in donating blood, there are a lot of blood drives going on around the city coming up. You can call 210-731-5590. And if you have any questions, we have all this information. Just head to KSAT.com.
Looking outside with live cam. It is overcast out there today. We are on standby, potentially some rain coming this week.
There are some chances. I'm not going to say we're going to get a lot of rain this week, but at least there are some chances, some hit or miss showers, maybe a couple storms. We've got a frontal boundary that's coming through as we speak. It's slow, but it is moving through San Antonio. It'll make a difference with the temperatures. As far as the aquifer is concerned, it's down close to a foot. And in the pollen count, no, it's not showing up, but Oaks is at 2,200. It's in a high category, down a little bit from yesterday. We'll have a full look at the aquifer and those rain chances coming up.
All right, welcome back and happy Tuesday. Not that happy when you look outside, especially considering we might see rain sometime soon.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, we do need the rain.
That actually is a good thing.
That is
and
a
if
good thing.
if it could wash the oak out of the air.
That would be benefit number one. That would be the big one. Okay, we get the oak out of here, and then our lawns, we're in need. Also the aquifer. I mean, you look at the aquifer, the number has just been dropping steadily this week. We are now down below 650. That does not mean we're going to go into stage 2 now, because they look at the 10-day rolling average. It's at 652.7, so we're still okay. But if this trend continues, we will be headed into stage 2. We need some rain. There is some in the forecast. I don't think we're going to get a lot this week, but chances here or there, and hopefully we'll at least get some downpours. Now, one thing we're watching right now is a frontal boundary. It is a slow mover. It has been working its way through Bexar County for about an hour now, northern Bexar County, and sliding towards the airport. It has not affected temperatures really all that much yet. We're still right at about 80 degrees here in town. But I think once it moves through, it will at least keep temperatures steady. I mean, it's still going to be a warm day, but certainly not like yesterday where we got up to 92. Behind the front, 72 Bernie Stage, it's 75 in Kerrville, in the 60s, Del Rio and Rock Springs. Del Rio is really socked in with cloud cover. They had an outflow boundary move through too, so that's keeping things a little bit cooler there. 78 Kennedy, 82 in Gonzales. That front is on your doorstep as well. So far, it has not generated a lot of rain, so only a 20% chance of showers and storms today. And you look at the time lapse, it's stayed relatively cloudy. We've had a few breaks here and there. 79 officially at the airport right now. Dew point is at 64, northerly wind at about 10 miles per hour. That is with that frontal boundary. In the forecast, this model does try to generate a little bit of shower activity as we get into this afternoon. A few showers off to the east. And as we get into tomorrow, there will be some more chances. We'll get some overrunning here behind the front. Again, it will be isolated. We're thinking 20 to 30% chances of rain, a little bit better chances we get into tomorrow. And there could be some thunderstorms here and there too, especially as you get out around Houston, Bryan College Station. At any rate, keep an eye on the radar because, again, tomorrow there could be a downpour around. Dew point wise, we're in the mid 60s. These numbers are trying to fall off a little bit with that front too. So behind it, dew points are in the 50s, ahead of it, 60s and 70s. That'll be a bit of a nice change. And looking at the radar right now, there are some light returns down around Beeville and Pleasanton, but these haven't had a whole lot of success moving off to the north and west. As we zoom out some, you can see most of Texas is dealing with cloud cover, with the exception of the Panhandle and far northeastern parts of the state. Then you've got some severe weather going on down around New Orleans with some storms that are pushing east. Temperature-wise, it is cool up around Lubbock and Amarillo. 50s there, out ahead of the front, 70s and 80s, but you can really pick out where that front is. 69 Dallas, 73 right now in Waco, but in the 50s for San Angelo and Abilene. As we look down the line, we've got an upper-level low out west. That doesn't really affect us until we get into the weekend. In the meantime, we have these little disturbances rolling through, and that's what may give us some of these showers and storms, especially behind the front. But as we get into Friday, some of that energy does move south, and we'll get a little better chance of rain, I think, probably Thursday, maybe into Friday. And then even on Saturday, as we have a frontal boundary coming through, that should enhance our rain chances a little bit too. So there is some hope there. Forecast for today takes us up close to 80. Again, I think temperatures may plateau a little bit with this front, but a 20% chance of rain there across the board. Northeasterly winds 5 to 15. And then tomorrow we'll go 80, 30% chance of rain, 30% chance on Thursday, but a 40% chance Friday into Saturday. Stronger front moves through, by the way, on Saturday, and that knocks down temperatures into the 60s this weekend. So quite a bit cooler, and we'll even keep rain chances going into next week. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back, and go Spurs go. Fresh off of Sunday's dramatic last-second victory over the Mavericks, DeMar DeRozan and the Spurs taking the court in Orlando, facing the pretty bad Magic team. So let's roll the highlights. San Antonio getting off to a slow start, but Lonnie Walker IV playing his third game after recovering from a sore right wrist. Well, he had a couple threes, 8 straight points from Lonnie. San Antonio would lead 19-13. Late in the quarter, DeJounte getting that layup to fall and one. Spurs up by 8. And then in the final seconds, Rudy Gay knocking down the corner three. San Antonio leading 28-16 after one. Wow, that was a lot of points. Second quarter, Jakob Poeltl with the slam, 38-21. This is getting away from everyone. A blowout, 44-29. Right here already, 51-56-37. I can't even keep up with the scoring in the highlights. White finding Eubanks for the easy slam. Spurs were up by 18. Murray hitting Keldon Johnson in stride baseline. DeMar DeRozan, no one could stop him. 5.5 seconds left, and he hit the clutch shot, 60-37 at the break. Let's go to the second half highlights. Boom, Magic, they do cut the lead down to 19, and that should tell you something, that the closest it got was 19, but the Spurs answering every run. The young guys get the final say with some playing time in the fourth quarter. Trey Jones to the Rook, Devin Vassell, rookie-to-rookie connection there. Oop slam, 6 scorers finishing double digits, and the Spurs make it 2 wins in a row. They knock it out of the park, 120-97.
Thought they did a good job. You know, we started a bit slow, but they took it seriously. They respected their opponent. You know, Orlando's in a tough spot right now. You can't worry about that. You got to come in, you know, with the attitude is you want to win no matter what the situation is. And I thought we did a good job in that regard.
2 in a row, but don't slow down now. The playoffs are going to be here before we know it. Next up, we have the Toronto, currently the Tampa Bay Raptors. Wednesday, 6:30 in Tampa Bay, Florida. You know why they're the Tampa Bay Raptors?
No.
Because Canada locked down for the pandemic, so they had to find a new team home. So now they're the Tampa Bay Raptors this year.
Didn't know that.
There you go. The more you know with sports.
He's amazing. New research says the secret to a longer life may be in the produce aisle at the grocery store, and it points to a specific amount of servings you should include in your diet. We'll have the details in our next half hour.
Plus, unrest continues in Minnesota after a black man shot and killed by a police officer who says it was an accident. Now, the victim's family is now responding. U.S. officials say President Joe Biden has decided to leave American troops in Afghanistan beyond the May 1st deadline. That deadline was the one negotiated with Taliban by the Trump administration. The officials say President Biden has set the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks as the new goal to withdraw the troops. Biden has been hinting for weeks that he was going to let the deadline lapse. And as days went by, it became clear that an orderly withdrawal of the remaining 2,500 troops would be difficult.
Protests continuing for a second night in Minnesota. The result of the accidental shooting of a 20-year-old black man by a police officer who says she thought she was shooting her taser. This all happening just 10 miles from where former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin is on trial for the killing of George Floyd. ABC's Andrea Fajui has more.
Another night of protests in Minnesota and in several cities across the country after the shooting death of 20-year-old Dante Wright. Police in riot gear deploying flashbangs and pepper balls on crowds who did not abide by Brooklyn Center's mandatory curfew, a suburb of Minneapolis. This in the wake of the release of Officer Kim Potter's body camera video. The fatal encounter happened Sunday afternoon when police say Wright was pulled over for an expired vehicle registration. After running Wright's name, they discovered a warrant for his arrest for a misdemeanor charge. Potter's body camera shows Wright being arrested and then trying to get back into his car, and then Potter yelling taser. You can see Potter pull her gun instead of a taser and then realize she'd actually shot Wright. He died later from a gunshot wound to the chest. Potter, a 26-year veteran of the force, is now on administrative leave. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is investigating the incident. Police are calling the shooting an accident.
We train with our handguns on our dominant side and our taser on our weak side. So if you're right-handed, you carry your firearm on your right side and you carry your taser on the left.
Dante's parents spoke to Good Morning America.
I cannot accept that. I lost my son. He's never coming back. I can't accept that a mistake that doesn't even sound right.
The family's attorney questioning the officer's actions.
They could have given him a ticket. They used the most force when it comes to dealing with marginalized minorities.
Police say about 40 arrests were made overnight in Brooklyn Center. A small number of businesses were looted and some officers were injured. Dante Wright's family is urging for calm and peace throughout the city. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
And about 10 miles away, the defense begins its case today at the murder trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. The prosecution rested its case following 11 days of testimony and a mountain of video evidence. Prosecutors called their final witnesses, leaving only some administrative matters. Once the defense takes over, Chauvin's attorney, Eric Nelson, is expected to have his own experts testify, saying that it was Floyd's drug use and bad heart, not Chauvin's actions, that ended in the death. The defense hasn't said whether Chauvin will take the stand. And the Capitol police officer killed at the building earlier this month, currently lying in honor in the Capitol's rotunda. Officer William Evans died April 2nd after a man rammed a vehicle into the barricade at the Capitol. President Joe Biden and congressional leaders expect to speak with members of Evans' family in attendance. Lying in honor at the Capitol is the civilian equivalent of lying in state, which is reserved only for government and military officials. Evans served on the Capitol Police Force for 18 years.
More than 300 businesses and investors now calling on the Biden administration to set some new high climate change laws. They want those goals changed. They're asking for the U.S. greenhouse gas emissions to be cut by at least 50% below 2005 levels by the year 2030. That target would nearly double the nation's previous commitment and require dramatic changes in the power, transportation, and other sectors. Those sending the letter to President Joe Biden today included Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola. Meanwhile, President Biden wants Congress to know he is sincere about cutting a deal on infrastructure. Republican lawmakers have deep-seated doubts about the scope of his proposed package. One of the core disputes is over what counts as infrastructure in his $2.3 trillion proposal. Also, there is a fundamental disagreement about whether the United States is losing its status atop the global economy because of deteriorating infrastructure. Biden has now met with a bipartisan group of lawmakers and is insisting that the Oval Office gathering was not just window dressing.
All right, 80 degrees out there right now. I don't see a lot of sun out there, but it could just be my view. Justin, you've corrected me before. Are we seeing any sun out there?
Not much. No, you're absolutely correct. And there's going to be a lot of cloud cover today. And through the week, we're not going to see a lot of sun. Temperatures will stay quite a bit cooler, especially considering we were in the 90s yesterday. So big change today. Want to start out with the pollen count. We didn't see it earlier, but it's 2,200. Oak is at 2,200 in the high category. Down again from yesterday. I think, and this is just my guess, that we've kind of gotten past the peak of oak season here, and hopefully we're headed in the right direction. Looking at Doppler radar, we do have a couple of very light showers moving across the southern part of the viewing area right now. Very light. These aren't going to produce much rain at all. We haven't seen much here in San Antonio, but there is a frontal boundary around, so it's possible we could still see an isolated shower or two today. Rain chances are going to be at about 20%. Temperature-wise, 80 for most of San Antonio and Bexar County, but that frontal boundary, we can see it here on the visible satellite picture, just moving through. And behind it, temperatures are holding in the 70s, 72 Boerne Stage, 76 in Bulverde. So I think temperatures kind of plateau a little bit as we get into the afternoon. 20% chance of rain, as we mentioned, and a north-northeasterly wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Rain chances do increase at least a little bit by the end of the week. We'll have more on that coming up here in just a few minutes. Guys.
All right, thank you, Justin. We all know fruits and veggies are healthy, but it turns out there is an exact number to go for if you're trying to boost your health. With more, here's ABC's Faith Abube.
A trip down the produce aisle may prompt nightmares of Granny's Brussels sprouts and boiled cabbage. But new research out of Harvard spills the beans on what may be the secret to a longer life. And Granny was right. They call it a 5 a day. 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. Researchers found it was linked to living longer. They even perfected the recipe. 2 fruits plus 3 vegetables worked the best. It wasn't just overall years added. People who ate 5 healthy servings per day faced lower rates of lung disease, cardiovascular disease, and death from cancer. And get this, more is not always better. There was no extra boost when people ate more than 5 servings a day. This doesn't apply to all vegetables. The study showed that potatoes and other starchy vegetables won't lengthen your life. The average American eats only 1 serving of fruit and 1.5 servings of vegetables per day. With this Medical Minute, I'm Faith Abube, ABC News.
Property taxes increased in 2020, but there's good news for recent home buyers, how they were able to somewhat contain the cost of home ownership.
And an amazing story to tell you about a local soccer player heading overseas to play and continue his education. What might make the transition easier for him? We're going to explain in just a bit.
A company is inching closer to launching tourists into space when we could see a test flight take place.
Everyone, this is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar. The New York Stock Exchange is getting in on the NFTs. The NYSE announcing they're going to launch first trade NFTs on Spotify, Snowflake, DoorDash, and more. The non-fungible tokens are meant to memorialize the true first trade of each stock. NFTs have exploded over the last few months with digital assets like artwork, tweets, and trading cards fetching millions in online auctions. Meanwhile, Bitcoin hitting another all-time high this morning. The coin now currently worth $63,000. It comes ahead of Coinbase's landmark IPO that's scheduled to hit the NASDAQ on Wednesday. The move to the public markets comes as Bitcoin is soared about 800% in the last year. And Jeff Bezos' rocket company, Blue Origin, is inching closer to launching tourists into space. The company is securing approval from the FAA, allowing it to conduct a major test flight with its new Shepard spacecraft. The launch is expected as soon as Wednesday. The test is projected to be one of the last flights before actually flying astronauts into space. And that's your Cheddar Business and Tech Update. I'm Jacob Machado, coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
Homeowners all across the U.S. saw a significant increase in their property tax bill last year. That's according to a recent report. CNN's Mandy Gaither explains why.
In 2020, total property taxes levied on single-family homes jumped 5.4% from the year before, the biggest average increase in 4 years, according to an analysis of 87 million U.S. homes by Adam Data Solutions, a property information firm.
The increase was twice what it was in 2019, a sign that the cost of running local governments and public school systems rose well past the rate of inflation.
When it comes to the highest effective property tax, which is an estimate of the average percentage of a property's value that is paid annually in taxes, the firm says states with the highest rates in 2020 were New Jersey at 2.2%, followed by Illinois, Texas, Vermont, and Connecticut. The other 5 states in the top 10 were New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Nebraska.
Fortunately for recent home buyers, they have mortgages with super low interest rates that somewhat contain the cost of home ownership. But the latest tax numbers speak loud and clear about the continuing pressure on both recent and longtime homeowners to support the rising cost of public services.
The analysis showed those with the lowest effective tax rates in 2020 were Hawaii, Alabama, West Virginia, Colorado, and Utah. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, well, back here at home, there it is, 79 degrees. We're down a degree, Justin.
Yeah, just barely. It's still going to be a warm day, but not a hot day like yesterday. Got up to 92 yesterday. So far today, 79 is the high. That's it. 71 was the low this morning. The average is 80, so I think we'll actually be pretty close to the average with a frontal boundary coming through. The record high is 100 set back in 1982. That was a good year. You know why? Birth year. Yeah, just saying. We're going to get some cooler weather this week. Some rain chances, too. We'll talk about it coming up.
Welcome back and happy Tuesday. 79 degrees out there. You were saying earlier, we desperately need the rain.
We actually do, and for a lot of different reasons. But, man, when we're hitting the 90s already and no rain, not good.
It's not a good sign, right, as we're headed towards the summer. Sarah and I were just talking, Sarah Spivey, about the fact that we haven't had a good rainfall since you really have to go back to November of last year when we had an inch or more in a 24-hour period. So we need a good soaking rain. I don't know that we get it this week, but we do at least have some chances mixed in there. And maybe we'll get at least some downpours around the area. Let's go outside for you right now. We've got mostly cloudy skies. As we've been saying, a frontal boundary is slowly moving through Bexar County right now. 79 at the airport, northerly winds at about 10 miles per hour. Temperatures right at about 80 degrees here in Bexar County, but you'll notice to the north we've got 70s, and that's behind the front. 73 Bernie Stage, 76 Comfort. Out ahead of the front, some low 80s. And as we zoom out some, it's fairly warm down to the south and then cooler as you get into the hill country. 68 Rock Springs, 62 in Del Rio, 74 in Kerrville. There's a look at the cloud cover. And earlier, you could really kind of point out where the front is. It's getting a little bit harder because of the clouds, but it's somewhere in there, moving right across the city. And then as you get north of it, there have been some breaks in the clouds. I don't know that we'll see much of that today. It probably stays mostly cloudy, at least here in San Antonio. You will see a little bit more sun up there around Kerrville and Lakey. Looks like we've got another boundary out west that's moving east. We'll watch that. That could kick off a shower or two. So far, though, rain has been hard to come by. There's not a lot there. This model continues to show at least a few showers popping up with this front, and then we should get some overrunning. So tomorrow morning, there's a chance for some showers, and then tomorrow afternoon, we should have a chance for some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. Right now, we have about a 30% chance in the forecast for tomorrow. Dew points, they're still up there, mid-60s here in town. They fall off a little bit behind the front, head of the front, as you might imagine. They're still in the 60s and 70s. It's still pretty sticky, especially closer to the coast. This front is allowing for the very warm numbers down to the south, and then most of North Texas is dealing with below average temperatures, 57 in Abilene, 57 Lubbock, 69 in Dallas. So it is creating a cool down. And this cool air is going to be here most of the week. as we look down the line, we'll continue to get little disturbances working through. So those will bring the rain chances in the next couple of days. But as we get into Friday and into Saturday, this stronger system moves through, and I think that's why our rain chances come up some Friday, and then again on Saturday because we have a frontal boundary that's sinking south into the area. So that gives us a couple more chances here. And even past that, there are more chances. So we'll have our shot at rain, but today it's a small one, 20%. Temperatures up around 80 degrees or so. And then northeasterly winds 5 to 15. Tomorrow, right around 80 degrees, 30% chance of rain. And then a 30% chance Thursday, 40% chance Friday. We get another front, as we just showed you, and that really does cool us down this weekend. So if you have plans this weekend, know it is going to be on the cool side, upper 60s. There's a 40% chance of rain on Saturday, 20% Sunday, 30% Monday. So we'll keep our fingers crossed here for some good, measurable rain, at least somewhere over the next 7 days, guys.
All right, Justin, keep our fingers crossed. Thank you.
A high school soccer player, a local high school soccer player, getting ready to explore his British heritage as he embarks on an exciting new journey overseas. What he's going to miss about Johnson High School right after the break. Well, welcome back. Johnson High School soccer player Samuel Moore is the first child in his family to be born in America. His parents moved here from England 21 years ago for family matters. Samuel has soccer in his blood. He started playing when he was a young lad. See what I did there? Back in February, he signed his NLI to attend the University of Chester in England, continuing his education and continuing on the field. He's going to be graduating in 3 years with the same degree as he would here in the States. Plus, as Larry Ramirez explains, he has family in England to make this transition a little easier.
Yeah, I have all my aunts and uncles and cousins, and all of them are out there. The only people that are here is my uncle from my dad's side. Probably my family over there, they're like text me and they're asking me if I was like already committed, if I was already making a decision. They just want me over there, I guess.
Born and raised in San Antonio, Samuel also plays for the Lions football club out of Schertz, 16 years now. The club is owned by his dad, Peter, who played semi-pro soccer in England.
The Lions team, they go over there during the summer, and we do like a little bit of a tour around England, and we play like a tournament over there.
How's that been for you to go over there?
Well, it's kind of already given me like a heads up of like the style of play over there. It's like more aggressive, more intense, the team to play against, and more physical.
That style of play sounds right up Samuel's alley. He can be physical, very intense, and he won't back down. Just ask his soccer coach at Johnson High School.
Oh, he's the heart and soul of our attack. I mean, he is relentless. He's a kid that we are completely different when he's not on the field. And so, I mean, his just relentless energy is very hard to, it's going to be hard to replace. Samuel's one of our more fiercer competitors.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what's your intensity level on the pitch?
It has to be a 10, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where does that come from? Why are you so intense?
Just love the game and the passion for it, yeah. Probably from my dad. He's always been in love with the game, yeah. I get it from him.
He's excited to head overseas to continue his education, but Samuel says he will miss living in San Antonio and attending Johnson High School.
Just like seeing the boys at school and seeing them on the field every day, and just being around them, really. Well, I really like it here. It's a tough decision to decide to leave, but during Christmas break and summer, I'm going to come back here.
Samuel has 4 great reasons to come back and visit San Antonio: his parents, Sarah and Peter, and his 2 sisters, Olivia and Scarlett.
Yeah, obviously my mom and dad and my family are my biggest supporters. My mom helps me every day and sends me little texts before the games and like says I love you and like says play your game, do you.
Part of being Samuel, a first-generation American, is to return to his family's English heritage to play football or soccer in Chester, England. Is it soccer or is it football?
Football.
Why is that?
Over there they call football, all around the world they call it that, and over here they call it soccer, but I mostly call it soccer, yeah. Over there if I call it soccer, my cousins kind of mess with me about it.
There you go. That was Larry Ramirez reporting. Samuel has dual citizenship. He told us he will report to England in September, and we wish him the very best.
All right, we're going to get a lesson, I think, on how to picnic in a fancy schmancy way.
Oh, yes. We are classing up the show, and apparently I'm still paying the price for the April Fool's Day prank that we played on Mike. Are you comfy?
I'm very comfortable. Thank you very much for asking as well. Yeah, what a great picnic setup. Brittany Harry from Jasmine Iman is the one that did all this. So you will bring this whole setup anywhere I want to have a picnic, right?
That's correct. All we need to know is the date, the time, the place, and we will bring everything and set up for you.
What do I have to bring?
Yourself and whoever you're having your picnic with.
Okay. Do you include Dusty to fan you?
We can. I'll talk with him afterwards.
Oh, I like that idea. Okay, and you know, drinks too. By the way, I'm a little parched, Dusty. You got something for me over there? You're a good man. And Agua Fresca from the Mariachi Bar. We are going to be teaching you how to make one of these things. Perfect on a hot summer day and a great. Oh, that is really tasty. Enjoying that? Yeah, I'll save some for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, well, if you're ready for a good scare, this Texas child actor hits the big screen. We find out how he prepared for this horror role.
Okay, and speaking of scary movies, you know, a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people do. Do you like scary movies? You love them, right?
I love them. I know. My husband doesn't like them.
I like it, but is it a monster movie? Is it like a psychological scary movie, something like that?
Is it more supernatural, maybe? Weigh in. Let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter.
That and a whole lot more. Dusty, keep the fan going there, and we'll need it.